So this is a much needed, much overdue video because I have let my books kind of go to chaos and I'm tired of it. Hello, little man. So how I currently have my books organized is I have a bookshelf that has all the books that I have read on it. And that bookshelf isn't bad. That one has like stayed organized, but I just don't like love the way it looks. Now, the most disorganized part of my book collection is all the books that I haven't read. So I currently have one book cart that has filled up. So I've got books just stacked on the floor, books stacked in random spots. When I want to start a new book, if it's not on my book cart, I have to like go hunting for it. So, wait, let me go get it. I ordered a second book cart. Little man's gonna help us build it. So, goals for this video: build my second book cart, organize all of my unread books, make my bookshelf look cuter. Let's get started with building this book cart. The color! Look at this pink. I think it's gonna be so pretty. My current book cart is like this like mint green and this like baby pink. I think it's gonna look so cute next to each other. I've said it before every single time I built anything on this channel, and I'll say it again. These instructions always have pictures, never words. We are book people. We need words. But this isn't my first book cart, so I got this. Luca has decided that he is going to be the supervisor for this build, but only if he can do it from the comfort of his bed. Also, while I'm building, I'm listening to The Kiss of the Selkie audiobook, which is a Little Mermaid retelling, and so far it's really cute. And done! I'm finished! I think this pink is such a cute color. I really had to use my building skills to build that cart. And speaking of building skills, there is a fantastic online platform called Brilliant at brilliant.org. Whether you're in school, want to learn more for fun, or want to grow in skills for your career, Brilliant is a great place to do that. Brilliant has thousands of lessons on a huge range of topics, from advanced math to computer programming to astronomy. I wish I knew about Brilliant when I was struggling through astronomy class in college. I could have really used the extra learning. And each course is designed to be really interactive and engaging. To try everything that Brilliant has to offer for free for 30 days, go to brilliant.org/JustAli, which will also be linked in the description. And the first 200 of you will also get 20% off of Brilliant's annual premium subscription. Okay, let's get to filling my new book carts.
Spring is the season that wakes me alive, and fall is the season to contemplate life. Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's the next day and I'm ready to organize all my books. This is all of the books that I own but haven't read yet. I think I want to organize everything on my book cards by genre, like have row for like romance, fantasy, etc. Especially because recently I've been starting to do videos where it'll be like reading fantasy for a week or like reading romance for 24 hours or something like that. So I feel like by genre it makes most sense, so I can just easily grab what I need for a video or what I'm in the mood to read. So I think I'm gonna start with my pink book cart and add all the romance. Since it's pink, I feel like it makes sense. I'm scared that not all of these books are gonna fill my book carts, but I also think I need to start unhauling some books because I know there are some books in these stacks that I honestly like don't know if I'm ever gonna get to reading. It's not because like they're not good books. I just like some books I've gotten like sent or opened in blind dates with books that I don't know if they're like fully my thing. And like there's so many good books to read in this world. I have a massive TBR, so it's like, why read something I'm not excited about? What did not occur to me is like there's so many books that are like multi-genre. Like I have so many like fantasy romances. Like where do I put them? Fantasy or romance? Decisions have to be made. It also did not occur to me that I don't know what genre some of these books are, so I'm gonna be Googling. I feel like this is gonna take a lot longer than I thought. Romance!
still feels like summer, but it's
Okay, I finished putting everything to piles, and I think the genre I have the most of is fantasy, which kind of surprises me because I didn't get into fantasy until pretty recently. That's kind of bad. That means I was like, this genre is interesting, let me just buy a billion books in it when I own so many other books.
'cause we lived when it was our bare feet, dancing and glistening beneath the heat.
I organized it from young adult to new adult. I'm so excited that Lynn Painter's new book is a new adult book, that she's getting a little older with her romances. I'm intrigued to read that. Then to just like adult, cute, light romances, then to getting more angsty to like darker romances. I have a feeling that my book cart is gonna fill up, so I'm gonna have to stack some books in the back. So I made a stack of some books I'm less interested in reading immediately. Some of them are Christmas books that I'm just not gonna read until it's Christmas time. So I'm gonna put those romances that I don't want to read in the next like few months in the back. Okay, I'm not sure what to put for the last row, like what makes most sense to fit. I have a lot of fantasy, and I think I'm gonna make this my fantasy book cart. So I'm gonna fill this green book cart with all my fantasy books. I also have these books that I wrapped up a while ago for blindly choosing my TBR. I'd like to do another blindly choosing my TBR video, so I'm gonna leave them wrapped up for now. I'm just gonna move them out of here for now so I can add fantasy.
Still feels like summer. Simply don't wanna see the cool wind sneak back in our town. But I
So I did my fantasy books from young adult. I think the young adult books end here, which is crazy. Like of all the fantasy, I have a row and a half that are young adult, new adults and adults. And then I also put a few books in the back that I'm just not as interested in reading right now, but they're not in my unhaul pile. I'll get to them eventually, but these I'm more excited about. So I have like 2.5 rows left on my book cart, so I'm gonna put the rest of the genres on my book cart.
soaked in nostalgia slowly, all the leaves start turning brown. 'Cause it still feels like summer and I
Okay, it's complete. I'm so happy. I feel like so relieved. It's so satisfying to see these full of books in an organized way where I can find everything. So let me walk you through it. Like I said, we've got young adult romance to new adult to adult, and the romance ended here, and these are my like pure fiction books. The Book Thief, which I really want to read, Out of Darkness, The Secret History, and The Wishing Game. Then I've got all my blind dates with books, and I have 2 nonfiction books, The Unanswered Letter and a book on Princess Margaret. And then in the back, I've got some books that I'm just, like I said, not looking to read right now. But it's nice that even though this book cart is full, I've got some space in the back, so if I get more books, I can add them back here. And then on this book cart, I've got my young adult fantasy, to new adult fantasy, to adult fantasy. It's so satisfying that these 2 rows are just all fantasy. And then on the bottom, I've got all my mysteries and thrillers, also starting with young adult to adult. And same with on the back, some books I'm not as interested in reading right now, but lots of space for future books to go in the back, which is really nice. And then I also picked 13 books to unhaul to get rid of. Let me know, would you guys want like an unhaul video of me going through all the books that I'm getting rid of? I don't know if that's like something people would be interested or not, because again, like I don't think they're bad books, they're just books that I'm not as interested in reading, like doesn't fit my personal taste as much. And if you watch my videos, you probably have a similar personal reading taste to me. So do you care to hear about books that I'm not interested in? Because you probably wouldn't be interested in them either. I don't know. So yeah, let me know if you want an unhaul video or not. Yay, I'm gonna put these book carts in their spot, and then let's go look at my big bookshelf. All right, I'm honestly kind of intimidated by reorganizing my bookshelf just because I don't really have a plan for it. And I'm a big like examples Pinterest board kind of girl, and when I find like pictures of cute bookshelves, they're always like the white bookshelves with like the edges. I love how those look, but it's hard for me to like imagine that on my bookshelf, which is like wood and metal. It has like the open ends. I just like can't picture how I want it to look. Right now I have it color organized, which I like, but I think color organization might look cooler when it's full of books. Right now, I feel like the color organization is like a little bit underwhelming. And I also just think it would be like easier to find things if it was by like genre or some kind of organization method like that. And just generally, I think it can make it more visually interesting, having like horizontal stacks and vertical stacks, and some books just like displayed like this or something like that. So because I don't really have a plan, I think I'm gonna take all the books off the bookshelf and just play around with it, and I will update you guys as I'm doing that. Okay, I'm gonna get started. Wish me luck. Okay, I finished taking everything off my bookshelf and organizing it by genre and also kind of pulling out some series that I think I want to extra highlight on my shelf. So here she is, pretty empty. Time to start filling her up. I feel like this is already way more visually interesting than my shelf was before. And it's cool to be able to highlight like some really cool books and covers. I am so conflicted though with how to display some of my books, especially hardcovers, because like I think this cover is gorgeous, but then I also think the book without the jacket is also really cool. And then like this book also has like some really cool drawings. I don't know if it would stay, but I could also potentially like display it open to some of the drawings. I just want to display every single hardcover in like 3 different ways. I'm actually so happy. I was like really scared that like it wasn't gonna look good and I'm like doing all this reorganizing for nothing, but I think it looks so much more visually interesting. I love that everything is by genre and that like everything is like mix and match colors, and I can also like highlight special books. I'm just like so happy with how it's turning out so far. Here's a little sneak preview. Okay, I'm gonna start the top row. I started a little bit. I feel like this would be a good place to do like some nonfiction books and just like really display a lot of books instead of just doing like a big row of books. The other thing that I'm like so happy about is like, I feel like I don't have enough books to go on this bookshelf to make it feel really full, but actually like displaying books makes it feel more full. So I think I have plenty of books to like fill the whole bookshelf, which is pretty exciting. Potential top row, I don't know. It's giving me like a little bit too bookstore vibes with like the books a little bit too much displayed. I'm gonna keep it for now, might change it. I finished! Okay, let me show you what I did. So on the top shelf, it's kind of giving like bookstore vibes, like book display. This stack is nonfiction / A Little Life and When Breath Becomes Air. So far, my most favorite nonfiction book. And then We Were Liars, Family of Liars. I feel like it's kind of cool. The covers look really good together. Shelf number 2 is fantasy. I love the Cool Prince series, aka the Folk of Air series. Something else is I try and get a lot of my books from my library just because support your local library and it's free. So I have a lot of incomplete series because I just own some of the books, and others I got from my library, which again, great financially, but like not the best for like displaying series. So right now I have The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, but I don't have the 3rd book, The Queen of Nothing, which I feel like could really complete this stack. So that's kind of a bummer. I could buy it, I don't know. Should I? Let me know. And then I've got this mug of bookmarks. These have just been in a stack, so it's nice to actually have them in a container. I might replace this mug with something else, but for now, she'll do. And I think this hanging plant on like a bookshelf looks so nice. Okay, next up is the romance shelf. First I have a Colleen Hoover section, including her 2 more thriller books. And then these are most all of my romances. These are all adult romances. And I feel like it's kind of fun to intermix the colors. I thought it might feel like disorganized, but I really like it. And then this stack is all of my young adult romances. And I also really like the shelf because I feel like romances for the most part have like really fun, colorful spines. So it just feels like so happy looking at this big row of books. And then for the last 2 rows, I'm so happy to display all of the Inheritance Games books. I feel like that looks so cool with them, like just dead center in this shelf. And I love the covers. I think they're gorgeous. I love the whole series. Well, I haven't read The Final Gambit yet, but I know I'm gonna love it. This is actually the only book on this shelf that I haven't read yet. I feel like I couldn't split apart the series. And then this is the rest of my romances. This stack is kind of more like brooding or like sad romances. And then these are Christmas romances. And then the Inheritance Games, which is like mystery romance, kind of transitions us to the mystery thriller section. So I've just got like some random adult and young adult mysteries here. I also added Ender's Game. Ender's Game is sci-fi. I don't have any other sci-fi books, didn't know where to put it, so I just tacked it on there at the end. And then I think this stack is really fun. This is all all young adult mysteries, and they're all like red, white, and gray. I actually didn't plan for it to be this way, but I was just putting them up and I was like, wow, the colors fit so nicely together. And then this bottom shelf is kind of empty, which at first I was like, ooh, does that look good? But I think that's gonna be a good thing, because as I read books and need to add them to my bookshelf, I feel like it's nice to have room, so I can always like take off some of these plants and stuff to add more books. That's another thing that I'm slightly worried will be annoying about this bookshelf setup. I really like how it looks, but I don't want to change it. Like once I finish a book and move it over from my TBR cart to here, I'm gonna have to like work it in to its like appropriate genre section without like messing up like the aesthetic I've got going on. But yeah, I am really happy with how it turned out. I think it looks so much more full, so much more visually interesting than before. So yeah, thank you guys for coming along on organizing every single book I own. This was a lot. I literally filmed it over 3 days. And please let me know if you guys have any decor suggestions. If you're like, ooh, Ali, this doesn't look good, or like, ooh, idea, you should add this piece of decor. I am here for suggestions, especially on this big bookshelf, because it is kind of overwhelming to decorate. All right, and with that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Ain't worth your dreams, tells me, oh, some of the things I do with